I'm thinking maybe what we would like to do is turn them out right in front of the rear tires.
In front of it?
Yeah.
Now, something needs to be asked here. Is this going to be a cruiser?
Yes.
And stay a cruiser?
Yes.
Or is this going to go like the Malibu?
No.
Where it's going to be, we're just going to cruise it. Well, maybe we need to put gears in it. Well, let's put some slicks on it.
Welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today we are working on Vicki's C10 from Old Man's Garage. We are doing a little exhaust work, and we'll see if we can find anything that needs done. We'll do it while it's in here. But for now, tool exhaust. If that's what you like to see, stick around. Click like, subscribe. Leave us a comment below. So the first thing I did when this came in was I reclocked the starter. With the starter, with the solenoid on top, the exhaust pipe has to come through the starter, and that's not going to work. So I re-indexed the starter. It gets the solenoid away from the heat of the exhaust and away from the heat of the block. Gets it down in some airflow. It'll help keep the starter solenoid cool. Rewired it. It gives me clearance for my exhaust pipe to come out. Now, ironically, these are a 2-inch outlet Rams Horn Manifold. Most people put the 2.5-inch units on, but we can't find those with the kickback like we want for this. So we're going to use the 2-inch ones. The problem with that is the flanges are really hard to come by. We picked up some flanges from Mark at A1, and they don't fit. So we found the correct ones. We're going to go pick them up here, which will allow me to get started on this job, because you start at the front and you go to the back, and if you don't have anything to hook your pipes to your manifolds, you can't really start building an exhaust. So we'll get to that here shortly. I also did smell some fuel, so I think the fuel line to the fuel pump, the clamp, I don't think is clamping enough, or the barb is too small of a diameter. So we're going to check that real quick and solve that before that becomes a bigger issue. Other than that, this truck's amazing. They've done a ton of work to this thing in the last couple of months, and it's really come a long way. It's going to be a great truck for them when it's all done. Great. That'll work. Let's start the other side. Making pretzels. Well, I was able to get my front pipes built last night. I went home, got some rest. Been a busy couple of days, had a lot of little things we had to address. and took a toll on me, but I'm feeling a little fresh, a little more fresh now. I'm going to install our mufflers. We picked up a pair of Thrush mufflers, and then we will make my tailpipes, and then we'll weld it all up. It's looking pretty good. I decided to split the pipes and run them outboard of the frame, a lot like I do on the 50s cars and the 60s Buick Rivieras. It gives a nice clean tucked look. I can keep the exhaust up high instead of dangling down underneath the frame. I have run the exhaust on these trucks with a little more clearance of a transmission cross member. I can run them down inside. You can open up the cross member. Basically, I drill 3-inch holes into the cross member and I can run them through and out. But with these arm coil sprung rear suspensions, there's not a lot of room to go over the axle, so it's really makes it complicated to run exhaust through all that. So I chose to just do a straight split true dual outlet in front of the rear tires. We're gonna aim them down at the pavement and out at like a 45. It should get the noise away from the cab, so it'll be nice to be usable and drivable and not be killing your ears while you're driving it around. Because he does plan to haul a trailer with this, so that will be cool. So we'll get it moving and keep on making this sound the way it needs to sound. It should sound really good with the 60s style split exhaust. So let's get back to work. I'm going to start by trimming these pipes back a little bit because I'm going to tuck my muffler right here, and I'll run my tailpipes out. A little bit here, a little bit there, get it done. Uh-oh. Let's help fix that. Whew. Yep, gas leak. Yeah, let's put a different clamp on that. Put a different clamp on that fitting. That should probably solve that problem. About like that. That'll work. Go up, out. Put an exhaust hanger right on that frame point right there. Perfect. Got a couple inches each side. And we're nice tucked up high. If they decide to ever drop this truck down lower, they don't have to worry about the exhaust. Thrush. I like it. Let's make some tailpipes and hangers. It's not starting. Still not starting. I must not be holding my tongue the right way. Clamp is probably going to be too small now. There we go. Now we're not moving around. And we'll check back on that later and see if it's got any fuel leaking out of it. Should be better. All right, minor things. Let's get back to my tailpipes. kicked my blade. Bugger. That's frustrating. Oh well. I guess I'll put the blade back on. Well, I'm finishing up all my little bits. I have my hangers built. I have my front pipes, my tail pipes are all done. I even cut a couple stainless tips, which should look pretty good on it. I decided to go out in front of the wheels because it's a little more period correct for the type of truck that this is designed to be. If he wants them to go out the back, he can certainly make that decision, but I think it looks pretty good with them coming out with the tire warmers. And with the scarf cut tips, it should look pretty awesome. So that's how we're going to do it for now. Basically, it's time for me to weld this thing up. So I'm going to get my welder set up, burn these in, and we'll take it for a test drive, because that's the best part. Oh. Austin will absolutely leave that in the video because we make mistakes. It is what it is. I'm human. I don't claim to be a welder, but I can glue metal together, so it works. Here. I have a tip to put on there. So the coolant's full, the oil's full, it's ready for test drive, except they just put a new transmission in this thing and the TV cable is not hooked up yet. And the TV cable adjustment on a 700 R4 is critical to proper transmission operation, and if it's not set up correctly, it will burn up a transmission lickety-split. So I'm going to pull this thing outside. I'm going to let you guys hear what it sounds like. I'm not going to drive it because it's not quite ready to be driven, but it's super close. These guys have done a lot of work to this truck. They've really put a lot of time and effort into this car. Little tidbit on the exhaust. We were having some problems getting the right collector flange components. This has a these manifolds have a small, it's like a 2-inch, so it's a 2-inch center hole, but the 3-bolt pattern is 2 3/4. And Austin, some of the guys at Jags, I think even Mike at A1 was stumped on that. He gave us a split collector flange, but it was incorrect. I ended up finding this guy, which is correct for the manifolds, but it was a 2-inch hole, and that would have worked, but I wanted to do a little bigger exhaust than 2-inch. I mean, I know that the manifold is restricted to 2-inch, but there's no reason we can't run bigger after that. So we found a Walker kit that has the right bolt pattern and a little bit larger center hole, which allowed me to run a 2 1/4 from the manifolds all the way to the back. So it's 2 1/4 exhaust. Basically the only seams are at the muffler, a couple of Thrush mufflers. These are the made in the USA Thrush Universals, 2 1/4 side center. So I went center in and side out, because these don't care which way they flow. Cue Mr. Compressor. Let me pull this thing outside. Yeah, I should probably hook the battery up since I disconnected that to weld. Pump's loud. Probably couldn't hear that over the exhaust before. Well, I'll let Bill worry about that. Sounds pretty good. Let's pull it outside. God, it's manual steering. It takes like 86 turns of the wheel to turn that thing around. I think Bill will be real happy with that. It sounds really nice. Not too loud, which would be nice when they're hauling their trailer. Well, that about wraps it up today on Vicki's 1964 C10. I believe it's a 64. I actually have a 65 C10 that I haven't worked on for quite some time, and this thing got me motivated to pull it into the shop and do some stuff to it, make it fun. Because I just really like this body style, and you know, got it, you might as well use it, so no point in sitting in the lot not doing anything. But this thing turned out really good. I'm real happy with the exhaust. I think Bill will be very pleased. I'm sure Vicki will like it, because she loves this truck. And it's a good truck to love. At any rate, thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. Stay safe out there.